everyone, this is Melissa, and I'm the Talkative Introvert. In today's episode, we're going to talk about dating, but more specifically, dating from an introvert perspective. But before we get into that, I got a few updates for you guys. You guys know I love to talk about my podcast journey. I'm probably going to take a little break from recording these episodes, not you guys won't even notice I'm taking a break, to be honest, but I'm like way ahead of time. So by the time this episode gets out, like a lot of stuff has already happened since then. For example, this is episode 10, but I've only gotten, let's see, what was it? Only episode 6 has been published. So I'm like 4 episodes ahead of time. And it's like not really reflecting current statuses, like my current status update. So I'm gonna take a break and so that the episodes are a little closer together, so that my updates are more current. But as of today and as of the recording of this episode, I have created my own website. So I'm not using the Buzzsprout website, which is like pretty limited, but it's still awesome because then people who are starting out don't have to create their own website. But I was just Googling, and then, social media likes to send you ads that make you think that they're listening to you. So they must have been listening to me talk about my podcast and how I was thinking about wanting my own website. So I got the Wix ad, and they were having a sale. So I decided to just go with it and create my own website. So that is available. It's the talkativeintrovertpodcast.com. I really wanted the Talkative Introvert, but I guess it's taken. Even though I tried to type it in, it doesn't actually go anywhere. So I don't know who has it or who bought it, but I really wanted it because like the Talkative Introvert podcast is like pretty long, but whatever. It's easy. Link says hi. So I have the website up. I started doing blogs too. So those are on their way up there. Those won't be like regular, like the podcast episodes. So right now my episodes come out every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Blogs are going to be just like when I feel like writing or have the time to write, and edit and upload those. So those won't be like on a regular basis. Those are kind of just on the side in addition to my podcast. But it's been fun doing that. So I've always wanted to do blogs. And if you read I think it's my second blog, I explain like how I really loved writing, and writing was really a big passion for me in high school and middle school. And I kind of lost that passion due to like just stuff going on with my life. But it's been nice like doing the blogs just on the side, just like this podcast. But yeah, go check that out on my website, and there's an option to leave a comment and all that. So if you like my blogs, if you want to continue the conversation, please leave a comment and I will try to respond to all your comments, assuming I get any. Anyways, so today's episode, we're going to talk about dating. However, I should mention, I know nothing about dating. I don't know anything about adult dating specifically. So I've been with Brandon, my husband, for, let's see, it's 2020, for 13 years. So you might be wondering, like, how old are you? So we've been dating since high school. So I met him freshman year, and then he was a sophomore, and we went out my freshman year. Yeah. So my freshman year, his sophomore year. So we were both 15 when we started going out. But of course, it's high school going out. So it's not like we went to a coffee shop or got a drink or anything like that. It was literally like we met each other in high school. He is my brother's best friend. And we like watched a movie together, but we had chaperones. And so it wasn't like anything like adult dating whatsoever, because we were both 15. We didn't even have our license yet. We had to have our parents drive us everywhere and all that. and we didn't like have a car or anything until like later, more towards like my junior year, his senior year. But still, I kind of grew up in a pretty strict family, so it's not like we like went out to dinner and stuff like that, unless it was like for senior ball or junior prom or something, like homecoming. But yeah, no adult dating experience at all. I just no high school dating, which is just with my husband, because I don't really count all the guys. I only dated like a couple guys before him, but to be honest, they were really short. I don't count them really as relationships at all. Like one lasted like a month. So, Brandon really is my first and only real relationship I've ever been in, and I've never done any dating, outside of that. So you're wondering like, well, then how are you going to do a podcast on dating? Well, that's where my good friend Mia comes in. So I finally figured out the whole dual podcast, like having a guest on, because I was trying to figure that out. And there's like different websites you can use. There's Zencaster, and we tried that out, but I was getting a lot of feedback on that, and I was echoing a lot, and we couldn't figure out like how to fix it. And so we just went on to Zoom, because I guess Zoom also, you can record the audio, and it doesn't sound that bad. So I don't think it sounds bad at all, actually, to be honest. So we just ended up with Zoom. So yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the episode. Okay. And then I shared my screen too, in case you wanted to like look at the notes and ignore the noise in the background. Brandon's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. And I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. Okay. So you ready?
No, but let's do it.
Okay. I'm excited. Well, this will be fun. Okay. So, wait, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. Now, like, you're making me nervous because you're nervous.
I'm not nervous. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So joining me today is my amazing friend, Mia Russell. We've been, damn it, hold on. My phone just went off. Jesus. Okay. Let's start over. So joining me today is my amazing friend, Mia Russell. We've been friends since high school, and hold on.
I'm an introvert too.
Hold on. Let's restart because I got distracted by my phone. Let me put this away. God, people, leave me alone. Okay. Joining me today is my good friend, Mia Russell. We've been really great friends since high school. I think, what was our first class together, actually? I think it was like English, right?
Yeah, it was English, second period, sophomore year, I believe.
Yeah. So it's been a while. I'm not going to say how many years.
Long time.
Yeah, a long time. Mia's also an amazing artist. I will link her Instagram page and her Redbubble. Please support a starving artist and go buy her art.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And then last but not least, but most importantly, she is an introvert. And
yes, I am.
Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about dating as an introvert, and dating in this whole quarantine, pandemic, apocalypse world that we're living in right now. So hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Just swiping every day.
Just swiping every day. Nice.
Yeah. I have to. I have to get out there every day.
Yeah. So I mentioned in my intro that I don't know anything about dating. I haven't dated. I don't even know if what me and Brandon did in high school was even considered dating, to be honest, because like who actually dates in high school?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
you don't go on a blind date type thing in high school. You kind of know who they are beforehand, which is what I would love personally, but I don't get that luxury in the adult world. You kind of have to suss it out on your own first.
Yeah, exactly. And adult dating is like completely like some other realm. Like I have no idea what it's like, especially now. Like I feel like now it's even way different with like technology and like all the apps that you guys use, that
Oh
you
yeah.
single people use. So
Yeah, for sure.
so tell me, like,
Yeah.
how's it like dating?
Well, at first I was very passive about dating, just kind of waiting for Mr. Right to break into my house and sweep me off my feet type of thing. So after a couple years, I realized, hey, if I really want a relationship, I need to, put in some effort, even if it's uncomfortable. As an introvert, in the beginning, it was very uncomfortable, but as far as online dating goes, it kind of helped to be hiding behind a profile at first, because you weren't like, speed dating. You're like, hi, this is me. I'm this person, and having to introduce yourself time
Mm-hmm.
and time again in person, which really just drains me in real life. So it's really nice to kind of hide behind the internet a little bit.
So which do
Yeah.
you prefer, like an app over like how it used to be where you have to like go to a bar or like a singles meetup or, like do you prefer the app more?
Yes, just because I feel more comfortable trying to figure out who a person is. I can Google them or, Facebook stalk them a little bit and make sure they're not a crazy person. And if you meet someone in person, that's great, but you don't really know anything about them. And that kind of puts you at a loss, I would say.
Mm-hmm. That's that's so interesting because like I don't even know how, like I don't even have words for it. Like I don't even know how I would do if I was single right now. Because I've known Brandon for so long and then to just like
Oh, just
find someone like
you're really lucky to have someone. Let me just start by saying that.
like some
Everybody,
stranger.
yeah, I mean, everybody I've talked to says that the town we live in, first of all, is really hard to date in, and then on top of that, we're older, so there's limited selection available. And
Hmm.
some people are like, oh, I don't want to date somebody with kids, I don't want to date somebody who's been married before. But at our age, part of that's inevitable. You're going to run into that, and you need to really step back and see what you're willing to compromise on, I guess.
Yeah.
um, I mean, there's a lot of things that you shouldn't compromise on, as far as feeling comfortable, or feeling okay with a person, or things that they do to you. Like, I haven't felt comfortable with a guy before and ended up having to break up with him because he made me feel uncomfortable and not good about myself, even though he was a quote unquote good guy.
Yeah. And so was this like a recent one of your recent dates?
Yeah, I haven't really been on that many dates. I have a lot of, I would say, high standards. um, they do stem a
Understandably.
lot from being very anxious, and um, well, let me back up by saying I'm an anxious restrained type introvert. So if people listening, took the quiz that you suggested from BuzzFeed, and it tells you what type you are, I'm anxious restrained. So that means I'm anxious, and I try to like hold everything back, hold back from running straight into a situation and getting hurt type of thing.
So how has that like affected the way you're dating or like getting prepared for
Um,
dates and all that?
it makes me really picky about who I choose to go on a date with, which I wouldn't say is a bad thing necessarily. I just don't go on, date after date after date like my extroverted friends have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've only gone on a couple dates recently. Like this whole year, I've gone on like 6 dates total. That's like 1 date per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you've been on
So
6 dates? You only told me about like a couple of them.
well, no, just 6 dates total. Two guys.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, Mia, what are you not telling me? Okay.
No, I've told you everything. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in order to meet up with them, I prepare by talking to them via text message or WhatsApp or whatever I feel comfortable talking through them to them through. Um, yeah, this one guy, I really liked him, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, I live in Turkey," and it's just like, "What?
What?
Why are you doing this? What's the point?" And it's clearly not for a relationship. It's they want something else completely,
Didn't
and
you
that's
set
not what I'm
your
about.
like location though
Yeah,
on
and
the app?
he had set his location to Sacramento.
Oh, that's weird. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll just do everywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not willing to take a plane over this. I don't really have that kind of millionaire money laying around.
Yeah. That's weird. So,
Yeah.
okay. Um, so tell me about the apps because I know you've tried like to explain it to me once, and I'm just like, what? Um, but like, what apps do you use? Like, what is it like about? Like, what do you like about it? What do you don't like about it?
I would say, actually use 2 apps. I've been on um, 4 or more. The only ones that I really remember are Bumble, OkCupid, Hinge, and Plenty of Fish, which I call POF, which, it's POF.com. So
Oh, is it
there you go.
really?
Yeah, it is. They shortened
Oh,
it down.
they should not
Um,
have done that, but okay.
yeah, right. It sounds like POS. So, anyway. Um, I really didn't like Hinge just because there doesn't seem to be a variety of people on there. It seems to be a very niche market, and it's more, frankly, the kind of nerdy kind of guy that I'm not really looking for right now.
Just not your type.
No, not really. I mean, I can handle quite a bit of nerdiness, but it was just too much. And it was
Okay.
like one after the other. So I was like, okay, there's a trend here. So I just kind of let them come to me on that app because they can like or comment on your pictures or your comments about or answering your questions and stuff like that. And it'll send it to you. You don't have to pay, which is really nice. And so you have to do like very minimal work on Hinge. Plenty of Fish, I hate. I absolutely do not like at all. Um, the quality of people on there, just as far as messages that I get, are rude, and they're not like, "Hi, how are you? What's going on?" They're like, "Sup, babe," stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's not something you start off a conversation with somebody you want to be a potential partner with, like seriously, and that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And then there's OkCupid, which I did get a date off of recently, which was nice for a while. Obviously, it didn't last. But what I like on there is that they have a percentage
A
percentage.
percentage.
Yeah, you take a quiz basically, and it tells you how much you match with that person, like ideologically, and usually is a good score to have with a person is over 90%, and it'll
Okay.
highlight it if it's over 90% matching.
So it's like how compatible you are with this person.
Yeah, just as far as worldviews and stuff like that go.
So
So
like
if they're
how extensive is like, I don't know, like do you take a quiz when you first start?
You take a quiz when you first start, and it does occasionally update it. So it's like, oh, take more question or answer more questions. You don't have this filled out completely. So occasionally you do answer a couple more questions, and then you get more matches. On OkCupid, you do have to pay to see who people who liked you. I don't like that because, obviously I'm, not going to pay an exorbitant amount to just see random people who like me. I'll just go through and swipe and match on my own.
Yeah.
And then there's Bumble. Bumble is the one where girls are supposed to contact them first. So, like, men do not have any control over contacting you right away.
Okay.
You have to send them the first message, and then they can choose to send one back. They cannot send pictures, so that's
good.
also a plus, because on other ones they can send pictures right off the bat, and you don't always get what you want there.
Noted.
Yeah. I like Bumble a lot, but I haven't had any dates from it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that it gives you like all their stats per se, like if they smoke, if they have pets, if they have kids, if they've been married, their religion, their politics, all sorts of things. Just so you know right off the bat if you're going to be compatible. So instead of giving a percentage, it just kind of lays it out in a blurb.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's a good idea because, like, obviously you want to be someone like, are you a cat person or a dog person? Or, like, do you want kids? Like, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good
on the
idea.
kids part, it's like have and don't want more, or have and want more. So you know kind of what they're looking for. And sometimes, to be honest, I do swipe if it's like, oh, have and want more, because I'm not sure if I want kids at this point.
Yeah. That's a big deal, though.
Yeah. And then also with Bumble, you can connect your Instagram and Spotify. So they can kind of, they put your top artists on there. And so you can see what they listen to.
That's interesting.
To a lot of people, music compatibility is a big deal. You listen to the same music, you tend to like the same things, and kind of have the same belief systems, I guess.
Okay. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good idea too. Yeah. That makes sense for people who are like, who really, really, I don't know, love music and really want someone to share that same love of music.
Exactly. Or if you're like really picky about what you listen to, and like, for example, you like pop and rock and they like country, I mean, are you really guys going to get along that well, to be honest? I mean,
can you go on a road trip together?
Right? Could you be in the car for more than 20 minutes?
Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So out of all of them, I really like being on Bumble. You can also pay to see your likes on Bumble as well. It's relatively expensive at $11 a week.
Oh my God.
You can buy up to a lifetime membership though for like $150.
Lifetime? Like you're never gonna find someone? Like
exactly. That's why I bought the 1 week one before, and I didn't like it because it just kind of takes the fun out of swiping, I guess. It takes the fun out of being on the app.
So hold on. So swiping. So okay, I know about Tinder because that was like that big one, that like
Tinder basically started it all.
Yeah. So you like swipe left or swipe right if you like someone or don't someone.
Yeah, swipe left if you don't want to proceed with them. Swipe right if you like them. If you both swipe right, it's considered a match.
Okay.
And it'll tell you, oh, hey, you match with so-and-so. Do you want to start a conversation? And on OkCupid, either one of you can start the conversation. And on Bumble, It's the woman who has to start the conversation, and they have to start it within 24 hours of matching. Otherwise, the match disappears.
Dang, so you have to be like on it. Like right when someone matches with you and you like them, you have
Yeah.
to like pursue it
And
right
then,
away.
exactly. And then after you message them, they have 24 hours to return the message. And same thing happens if they don't. It just kind of goes away and nothing ever comes of it, which is a waste of everybody's time.
Dang. So what if like they're just off, like just didn't have their phone for one day and then you
They're
just like
on
totally miss?
vacation. They're
Yeah.
just unplugging for a little bit. That you're gone. That's it.
Wow. That's like too fast. That's like way too fast for me. Like, oh my God. Like let me think
Yeah.
about it first.
Right. Yeah. You
Yeah.
kind of just have to jump in with both feet, which is, as an introvert, something I've had to really learn how to do, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's not something I normally do. I am, you dip a toe in first. You don't jump right off the pier.
Mm-hmm. That's very
Online
much
dating.
your
Yeah,
restrained personality. Yeah.
exactly. And on here you cannot be restrained because it's
You'll
full
lose your
force
chance.
ahead. Yeah.
Oh my God. It seems so like anxiety inducing. Like
It
it's a
is.
lot.
Yeah,
Especially if
when
you're on like
I
multiple apps at a time too.
oh yeah, and it's hard to keep track of who's on what app too.
I do like the idea of Bumble though, because it's like or like the woman gets the or is the one that
Yeah.
actually contacts you. And I actually know someone who was on Bumble and he was able to find someone and now they've been dating like for a while now and it's like really
Wow.
good. Yeah. So, you
Yeah,
know,
Bumble
it
is
happens.
definitely like higher quality messages that I would say you get. They're more of conversations. Sometimes you do get the errant person who's just looking for a hookup, but that's a lot more rare on Bumble.
I feel like that's more like Tinder or like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
for
one of
sure.
those.
I
Yeah.
I don't really use Tinder. I had it for a week maybe, and I just did not like it. I moved on to greener pastures.
So are you ever scared? So if I was single right now, I think my number one fear would be like being catfished, you know? Which I think that's why I kind of like Bumble because then you can
Yeah,
like reach out and you can like do your I don't know, you can Google them or whatever you have to do to check them
exactly.
out.
Being catfish is definitely a major concern, but you kind of have to know the warning signs of it. Like, their pictures look way too good to be true. They don't have anything written about themselves. Um, Sometimes their pictures are screenshots. So I
Oh,
just
that's
say,
weird.
hey, after talking to them for a little bit, here's my number. I want to make sure you're not a catfish. Can you send me a picture of you today? Or something like that. Sometimes people say, oh, hold this many fingers up or put a spoon on your head or something like that, just to make sure it's not a fake picture.
Oh, that's a good idea. So is that what
Yeah.
you do? Like do you what do you do to make sure they're not catfishing you?
Just if they look too good to be true, I usually honestly just swipe left. Um, because if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Mhm.
And you can kind of tell when they're pictures from modeling agencies or magazines or something like that.
Oh, like super
Um,
high quality
yeah, like really
pictures. Yeah.
high quality, not the traditional bathroom selfie with a dirty mirror type thing,
Yeah.
which is another pet peeve of mine is the dirty mirror when they take a selfie.
Oh, yeah. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
just wipe it down, like take a second to wipe
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah. It kind of shows who you are as a person.
Yeah. Like I can imagine what their room looks like.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Like, yeah, the whole app world. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
But
like the idea because you can filter out people, you know? So
yeah.
that's a good, especially like you're saying. I mean, to clarify, we're not super old, okay? We're not even 30 yet. Because you're like
Yeah.
at our age, but we're not like
But also, most people in their teens expect to be married with children by the time you're this age. And, a lot of people aren't. It's just kind of a wake up call that you get in life that's,
Mm-hmm.
oh, hey, if I want to find somebody to spend my life with, I need to actually look instead of being very passive about it. And
Yeah.
nowadays, people don't really meet in the supermarket. They meet online and through the app. As an introvert, it has uh, positives and negatives. Positive, you get to hide behind the screen a little bit. Negatives, you really have to put in the footwork to, find someone.
Mm-hmm. And to like keep up the conversation too. Like that's like another thing people don't realize is that texting people is also a social activity. Like it is pretty
Oh,
draining to
yeah.
like text someone constantly and to like have a
Especially,
conversation with someone.
yeah, especially if it's small talk and it's like, yeah, how's the weather today? How's your week going? It's like, how do you start a conversation with somebody to catch their attention, but also not turn them off at the same time? So
Mm-hmm.
I usually just do the boring, hey, how's your quarantine going? How's your day going? How's the weekend going? Depending on, what time of week it is. And, I don't really get a lot of responses, but I don't really know what else to say besides cheesy pickup lines, which I don't think I would like. So I don't
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Have you ever looked up to see if there is an introvert dating website or dating app?
I actually haven't, but I don't think it would be that successful just because the way introverts are,
What do you mean?
like kind of passive, not wanting to really get out there and be sociable.
Mm, yeah, I guess so. Because I'm wondering, like, because for you, like, would you want to date someone who's an introvert or would you want to date someone who's an extrovert or like a mix of both? Like,
I would say a mix of both. There's definitely been times when I've been looking at somebody's profile. They seem like a great person, but they're an extrovert to the max, and it's just not something I want to be involved with. I need my alone time. I need my indoor time. um, and these people just seem like go 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 go, let's do this, let's go climb a mountain, let's
mm-hmm.
go have brunch with friends. And then you kind of get burned out. You
Yeah,
don't
you're
have time
exhausted
to
just looking at their
recuperate.
profile.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there an
And
option to
oh,
say whether you're introvert, extrovert on the apps?
not on the apps that I've been on, not that I'm aware of, but googling it now, they say that the best dating apps for introverts are actually OkCupid is number 2. I've
Hmm.
used Coffee Meets Bagel. I didn't really like that. Um, and this one called Anomo, I haven't
A
heard of that
no.
before, but I'm going to look it up right now because I'm interested.
Yeah, because then I mean, it is a personality, right? It's a personality trait. So I think it's important to know if someone's an introvert, extrovert, because then you could be better prepared for the situation. Like, are you expecting a quiet, intimate dinner, or are you expecting like this person to take you, I don't know, on some crazy scavenger hunt around the town?
Right.
You know, these things are important. Like, I need to know.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Okay. So I'm looking at Anomo right now, and it's first of all has 2 out of 5 stars.
And this is supposed to be good for introverts.
Yeah, it says everyone on Anomo starts anonymous through an avatar, but you could reveal pieces of your real self that's 100% in your control.
Is this like a game? That seems a little
Yeah,
sketchy.
yeah, it says chat one-on-one, group chat with people nearby, and play icebreaker games to discover things about others. This just seems like a mystery game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play
Hmm.
games, you know. I just
Yeah.
want it to be upfront, and I guess that would be good for someone who's really shy and
I guess it's a
in
good one. I don't know. I mean, I like the whole idea that you don't know what you look like because I think that's one of the big problems I have about these dating apps is that it's mainly based on your look, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's
I don't
100%
know.
based off of your looks.
Yeah.
If they, it's just a picture, and then immediately swipe left or right.
Yeah. Because, like, who's
If you're
actually
lucky,
taking
they'll
the
look at it.
time to
Yeah,
look at the profile?
if you're lucky, they'll take a look at it.
Hmm.
But you have to like first catch them with a picture,
Yeah.
which is another thing that I am not very good at because I don't like taking pictures.
Hmm.
Is that having a current picture that really reflects who you are, and at the same time what you look like and what you're up to, and without being just selfies.
Hmm.
So you have to be a little extroverted to, get out there and look like you're
Yeah.
at least look like you're doing stuff.
In your natural habitat.
Yeah. Like,
Because, like,
oh,
how do
this is
you do,
me.
how do you do that? Like, it's not like, I mean, I guess you could like put the phone, like your phone somewhere and do like a timer and pretend you're reading or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, but
Well, I
then it's like
mean,
completely posed.
yeah. And that's the problem being an introvert, is that you're in most of the time. You do have friends, but you don't see them that often. And when you do, if you don't like taking pictures, you don't take pictures.
Yeah. And I'm not the one that would be like, hey, can you take a picture of me? Just like, candidly, so I
Yeah.
can post this on my profile. Like,
Yeah.
that's
So
a
I've
little
had to
weird.
So I've had to be more self-aware of like, oh, I feel like I look good today. I'll have somebody take a picture of me, or I'll try to take a selfie,
Mm-hmm.
even though, people think selfies are pretty vain, and I think they have a little bit of self-care in them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, if you're feeling good and you want to confirm that, or if you want to remember that, you got to take a picture. And how else are you going to do that if there's no one around?
Mm-hmm.
Being an introvert, you're at home, or you're out doing your own thing.
Yeah, I get that because like I get both sides. Like I get it being kind of vain, especially if you're like constantly and constantly taking selfies. But then there's like
Oh yeah.
that other aspect of it where it's like, well, you want to take it because you felt good that day and you want to remember how much you felt good that day and like look back
Yeah.
on it or something like that. So I get
That's
that.
why Yeah, and that's why I like when they have their Instagram connected, because you can see their most recent pictures. And if all of them are selfies, it's just kind of like, okay, this person's really into themselves. But if they're, with friends or doing something or taking pictures of even their food, it's a little bit more compatible for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I just posted a selfie the other day, and I haven't done that in forever. I don't even
Yeah.
remember my last selfie, to be honest. Like
And I
it's
think,
weird for me.
yeah, and people, especially introverts, should take more selfies, because it's saying, I recognize that I look good, and that, I it's like having self-confidence to take
Hmm.
the picture and not delete it. And as an introvert, I've learned to be very self-critical and kind of down on myself a lot.
Hmm. Yeah, because
So
introverts are like more self-aware, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
Apparently,
And just
thanks Google. Sorry.
yeah. So I've, throughout my life, I've been more self-aware and, more cognizant of other people's feelings. And I don't want to seem vain or, you know, into myself by
Hmm.
taking a selfie. But at the same time, a certain amount of selfies are healthy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I
Yeah.
mean,
And so
I'm not
it
going to be
definitely
posting.
helps the profile.
Yeah, yeah, because then when you like feel good and you take a picture and you have like that confidence, it shows. Like I feel like it
Yeah.
shows. It totally
Hmm.
shows. And I think people like that. People like your confidence. Because there's like confidence and there's like too much confidence, and that's when it gets vain. But the
Yeah.
right amount, like you can tell when
Yeah.
someone like feels good about themselves. So yeah, that's my only gripe about apps though. It's just that it's picture first, personality later. That's why I kind
Yeah.
of like this. What's it called? A
Anomo.
Anomo? Yeah.
Yeah, it's ANOMO.
Oh, I get it. Anonymous. Anomo.
Like, or
Okay.
maybe it's Anamo. I don't know.
But I do like that idea. It's kind of like The Voice. You know, like, have you ever watched The Voice?
Oh yeah, where they listen and then they swivel their chairs around if they
Mm-hmm.
like the person or the
Yeah.
way they
So it's your
sound.
voice that's more important, not your looks.
Yeah.
So I
I
kind of
think
like that idea.
yeah, I think that if this app was kind of taken to another level, it would be great. But at the way it is right now, it seems like you're playing games to just get pieces of information.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should just kind of put the information out there except for the picture and then maybe, you know, date someone based off of their personality and get to know them based off their personality.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my God. So there's this show. It's called Love is Blind. Have you seen it on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I mean, it's stupid because it's like, one of those,
It's a
it's like The
reality show. It's
Bachelor.
fine.
Yeah. But they don't see each other, right? So it's just
Oh,
this
okay.
wall. So someone's in one room and then there's a person in another room and they're
Uh-huh.
just separated by this wall and they just talk to each other every night. And then that's how they meet each other. And then obviously then you pick who you want to actually be with. And then they reveal each other at the end of the show or like at the end of whatever.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like I like the idea, but at the same time, all the people, all the like contestants or whatever you want to call them are like super beautiful.
Of
And it's
course
like,
they
of
are.
course. Of course they're going to like how that person looks. Are you serious? Like this
Yeah,
is stupid.
if they were a little bit more realistic and used, your average Joe on that kind of
Hmm.
show,
Yeah, cuz they're all
it might have
skinny.
more realistic um, outcomes too. Like, oh no, I don't want to be with this person
Yeah.
because they have a beard and I don't like beards.
Yeah. That's why like this show was they missed opportunity. They should have made it so it's just your average people, you know? Because
Yeah.
what is it? The average girl in America is like size 14 or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's not what you see on TV at all.
Yeah, none of these girls were at size 14. Let me tell you. Maybe their butt was size 14, but not their
Right?
waist. So I was
Like
like disappointed.
we're talking dress size here, not butt, pant size.
Yeah, because they like, so they'll reveal themselves and man, I am admitting that I watch like reality TV show, but they
Oh, that's
reveal
fine.
themselves at the end, and the guy's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's more beautiful than I thought she would be." And I was like, "Well, no, duh," because they only
Yeah.
picked beautiful women to go on the show, of course. Oh,
Well, not
jeez.
saying that your average American woman isn't beautiful. It's just it's not Hollywood
It's
beautiful,
yeah, exactly.
It's you
Sorry, I should have
gotta
mentioned that.
yeah, no, I totally get it. It's magazine, Instagram, that kind of perceived
Hmm.
beauty,
Yeah.
which makes it harder to date as a plus size person and an introvert. I feel like I have, two things going against me there.
Oh.
Because they see the picture and then they're like, no, I don't want to date a big girl, type thing.
Hmm.
But
Hey, some guys are into that though. Some guys
I
like their
know.
girl thick. Okay.
Yeah,
They're
no.
out there. But yeah, I get it. That's yeah, the whole picture thing. Ugh. I don't know. Is this app, the Anomo or whatever, is it free?
It looks like it's free, but hold on just a second.
Maybe you should
It,
try
it
it.
probably has upgrades that you pay for. I bet you
Oh, I'm
anything it has
sure.
upgrades.
But if it's free, you should test it out. Do a little experiment. And then maybe we
Yeah.
can talk about it again in another podcast.
Okay. I will download it right now.
Woo! Okay. Because it's a good
Uh,
idea. Now that I think about it, like it sounded kind of dumb when you first started talking about it because it's like, sounds like a murder mystery game or something.
well, it kind of is. Like you have a fake name, like
Oh,
a
it's a
fake
fake
screen,
name?
like a screen name and no picture and nothing.
Is the avatar, like, can you make the avatar? Or is it like,
I think so. From the previews, it looks like you make a Bitmoji
mm-hmm.
type
Oh,
avatar.
that's not. See, I wish it should be like completely anonymous because if you can make an avatar, obviously, for you, you're blonde, blue eyed, like guys are gonna be like, ooh, I want the blonde one instead of just like,
Right. Yeah.
thinking of your personality. That's interesting. I don't know. If you're going to use it, let me know how that goes. We can make an
Yeah,
episode about it.
I'm downloading it now, and so far it looks pretty um I would say cheap, I guess.
Okay. It's
I
like
don't
one of
know.
those like Candy Crush game
Yeah,
looking
like
apps.
it's all animated type stuff.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. It's pretty weird. Let
Okay.
me I'll register it later, sorry.
Okay, no worries. I was like, this is a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I did want to talk to you about so we talked about apps and all that. So how is it dating since we're like all quarantined right now, we're dealing with the pandemic. So
Yeah.
like not only are you, saying that you have struggles being anxious or strain type, being an introvert and all that stuff, but then we're also like in the middle of a pandemic. So I think, did you date someone during quarantine, right? Or
I
no?
did. I did a bad thing.
You did a bad thing.
I
So
broke
how
the
did that
rule.
work?
I didn't get sick, but I probably shouldn't have. And, restaurants were just opening up. We had been talking for a couple of weeks, actually, just because, during quarantine, you can't really do anything but talk. And,
Hmm.
restaurants and or bars, or no, the restaurants opened first. So we went to a restaurant that was also a bar.
Hmm.
And that worked out just fine. I think the quarantine actually gives me a leg up because I get to talk to them a little bit more than normal. Um,
What do you
my
mean?
like you get to talk to them longer than they would expect a date. Like some people are like, "Oh, I'll talk to you for 3 days and I want to meet up." This way, they're like, "Oh,
Oh,
well, we can't meet
beforehand.
up." Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have friends who are like, "Yeah, if I don't meet up with them within a week of talking to them, we're just being pen pals." So the
Okay.
idea of the pen pal kind of is turned into, oh, it's quarantine. You can't really do anything except be a pen pal right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So you
Yeah.
got to like kind of know him more before you actually met like physically in person.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. So how was that? Like do you mind talking about your dates?
Sure. I
You don't
mean, I
have to
won't,
do like in detail like
I won't because I
okay.
don't want to like name names or
Oh
anything,
yeah, for
but
sure.
yeah, I always like to meet up at like a neutral location or a location where I have the upper hand.
Mhm.
Just as a girl, I think that's a good idea, especially if you're meeting somebody for the first time.
Mhm.
Um, like I like to go to this restaurant, the Fat Rabbit.
Yeah,
I love that place.
I know.
Um, but I feel comfortable there because they know who I am and they know, if something were wrong, I feel like I could go to them and be like, "Hey, I need help." It's not like Applebee's or something where, you'd kind of be stuck there,
Mhm.
or you wouldn't have a way out, you wouldn't have help.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I always pick a location that I feel more comfortable at. It's just one of those things where they have to get used to it just because, um, it's so much more dangerous to date as a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally understand that. Like, I wouldn't want to go to some secluded place, no matter like how romantic it is, definitely
Yeah,
somewhere where
or
there's other people around for
yeah, and
sure.
if you want to try out a new place, we could do that down the line once I know you're not a crazy person and you're not going to kidnap me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And let your friends know.
Yeah, and I usually tell 1 to 2 friends plus my mom or my dad and my brother because they always want to know where I am, and if I go missing, that's where they start looking.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Because I don't,
yeah,
if I don't hear from you for like a week, it's like, okay, Mia, where are you? Where's your
yeah.
body? Like, are you alive?
Yeah, exactly. And other dates could be just like another kind of neutral location for a picnic or going out in nature somewhere that I know my way around. The area we live in has a lot of nice nature areas and parks that
Mm-hmm.
I personally know my way around and could get in and out of without a problem.
You keep pepper spray with you?
I used to, and then I think it exploded in my car, so no. But
Defeats the
pepper spray
purpose.
is always a great idea, especially if you're going into a park or like a nature area because there are predators out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a side note, just to be safe, if you do go out there, go out with people go with, pepper spray and a cell phone for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and just, pay attention because not only are there human predators out there, there's mountain lions, rattlesnakes, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not to like scare everyone about going outside.
Yeah. Sorry,
Nature is
fellow
beautiful.
introverts. It's dangerous. No, I have never had any problems, but yeah,
That's good.
just know where you're going and know your way out too. Because
Yeah.
if you feel uncomfortable, you don't really owe them anything at that point. You don't owe them an explanation if they have made you feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing as a people pleaser. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but they've hurt yours, so you got to get out of there. And if it's not a good situation, you got to really take yourself first.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Man,
don't know if that's necessarily an introverted thing,
I think that's
but
just an overall thing. Just take
yeah,
care of yourself and like
yeah.
really, yeah.
But
I
I
think
think
it's,
introverts will want to think about that a little bit more
mm-hmm.
before they go on a date because they might be anxious like I am.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it really helps to know where you're going and what's there already and what, even what the menu is.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Cause like, even though I didn't get anxious as one of my types, like from the quiz, I definitely feel like I do resonate with being anxious. And I feel like if I was to go on a date with someone, like I definitely would want to prepare and know exactly where the restaurant is, know the restaurant. Like if you've never been there before, but you're like meeting like halfway or something, like
Yeah.
I would probably like go to the restaurant like a day before or something just to
Yeah.
familiarize myself with the place and like, yeah, like you said, be
That's
prepared
not
with
a bad
like,
idea. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because I've done that before where if I'm like, especially when I have a new job or something, I'll go there first. I'll drive there. So I know the route and I know the place and all that. So I'm prepared. And like,
Yeah.
same with the whole, knowing the menu. That one's a big one because like I feel, I don't know about you, like how you were during your dates, but I always feel like really self conscious, like if I'm taking forever to look at a menu or like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And that's where the self awareness of being an introvert comes in again is that, you don't want to seem like you're
Like
being
taking too
weird or
long or like,
anything. Yeah.
yeah.
You
And there's
don't
like
you
too
don't want
much
to come off
silence.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also when I get anxious, I get a little bit nauseous. So I
Oh,
don't
me
really
too.
I don't really want to eat that much on a first date, so I want to make sure that they have stuff that I could eat and not feel sick afterwards.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like if I'm eating with a coworker or a boss or like one of those, I feel like it's really similar if I was to go on a date, but like I only get food that's not messy. Like sometimes I'll just get fries because fries are just
Yeah.
super easy. Or
Oh
like
yeah.
I wouldn't get like a smothered wet burrito or something like that. Like I would, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Something you can eat with a fork and use like 1 to 2 napkins
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Nothing smothered, nothing with too much sauce.
Yeah.
Uh, that's funny. Because I've never like talked to someone about that before. I'm glad you're the same way.
No, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's like dating foods, like do or don't
Oh
order
yeah.
these dating foods or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dating tips, do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Don't get a sloppy Joe. don't don't order a Chipotle burrito. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
gosh.
Unless the person like you're dating is super into that. You know?
I mean, there are people out there that's,
Yeah.
there's no short supply of weird
There's a
fetishes out there.
there's a fetish for anything.
Oh
Literally
yeah.
anything.
Yep.
Anything. Literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone out there for you. If you have a weird fetish, there's someone out there for you. I promise. I'm pretty sure you're not alone.
Yeah.
Oh man. So are you still using apps? Like are you still looking for people? Like
Yeah, I go on these apps daily. They send me push notifications all the time. They're like, "Oh, somebody liked you, but you can't see it because you didn't pay for it." But you just
but
go on
there's
there and
someone
you start
there.
swiping. Yeah. Sometimes you get a message. Sometimes you get nothing, and it's just a crapshoot. You just got to go out there and do it, and hope that you find someone you like and that it works out.
All right. So what's your plan so far? Have you gotten a hit yet or no? A hit. What would that be called? Like a match, I guess.
Uh, According to OkCupid and Bumble, I have plenty of matches. It's just that I haven't, matched with them.
hmm
A quote unquote likes. There's over 100 people who have liked me on OkCupid. There's over 20 people who have messaged me, but I can't see their message until I like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this
So,
like, do you have a radius set? Like, is this within,
oh
oh,
yeah.
okay, like
I
Northern
think it's
California or?
Yeah, I think it's within 50 miles, which is honestly
That's pretty
still a pretty
big.
big radius.
Because San Francisco's like 70.
Well, I
Is it
definitely
70
get people
miles?
from I don't know. I don't know.
Something
I
like
definitely
that.
get people from the Bay Area in there, and sometimes the first thing they say when we match is, "Oh, you're too far away." It's like,
Mm,
okay,
bye.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's not going to work for you right away, then it's definitely not going to work down the road. So just kind of let them go.
Okay.
You definitely have to take the good with the bad, and there's a lot of bad out there. So I would say don't spend too much time on there, but still put in a concerted effort to find somebody if that's what you're looking for.
That has been really interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, I get so excited when you go on the date, to be honest. So I'm
You
like,
like to
huh,
live vicariously through me?
yeah. Not that obviously, I'm not looking for anyone, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Like, I've never done the whole adult dating thing. So it's interesting. And it's evolved so much in these like past few years, just from when we graduated high school to now. Like, I feel like it's just been
Hmm.
crazy. And like all these,
Yeah.
like you said, like the start of Tinder and how it like, branched out to all these different apps and like people aren't
Yeah.
really meeting each other. And like my cousin, she's single. And I don't know, like when she meets a guy, like most of the time, like if you meet like person to person, they're just kind of there for the hookup. Like there's no one really serious about
Yeah.
it.
Like
And
if
then
you meet at a
now,
party or something.
yeah. And then like I was talking to who was it? Oh, my former boss. His daughter's the same age as me, and she hasn't found anyone, like hasn't settled down. She really wants to start a family and like have a baby and everything. But
Hmm.
I guess the problem is like this whole, like they're calling it like a hookup culture where like everyone just wants to hook up and no one really wants to settle down.
Yeah,
And
I've found
yeah.
a lot of that.
And I feel like that's kind of where we are because like even like our generation apparently, I don't have the statistics or anything like that, the sources, but apparently like our people our age aren't really taking like marriage seriously. Like they don't really, like if it happens it happens, but like no one's opposed to not being married ever again or ever. And like a
Yeah,
lot of people our generation also don't want kids too, so like
yeah,
dating is definitely more casual. Like I guess no one's looking for a whole lot of serious relationships. So like
yeah.
yeah. So for you, like are you looking for a serious relationship? Or are you looking just casual, or, like obviously you said you're not really into that hookup thing, but
No, because I get attached to people. I want to know who they are beforehand, and hookup culture is just kind of like, hey, you want to hook up? Yeah, let's hook up. Okay, and then that's it. It's not really like let's go on a date first or something like that. And as a very anxious person, I have to know who they are first.
mhm.
And if I'm gonna be with someone, I want to know what their values are. I know it seems like that shouldn't really matter if you're just hooking up with someone, but to me it does. So I guess hookup culture is kind of not an option. So definitely looking for more serious relationships or at least a relationship in the beginning.
Well, I hope you find someone out there. Hopefully these apps work. Maybe this Anomo would work. You never know. Or
Who
no.
knows?
Yeah. I would be surprised, but
I'll
I'd
try
be
it.
like, I don't know. Because it all started from this podcast. They're like, well, my friend Melissa wanted to do this podcast, and now I have this app, and now I'm married and happily, like, in this long term relationship. And now I'm like engaged. So that would be really cool. Like, you could tell, I don't know if you're going to have kids, or like tell your nieces and nephews or something,
Yeah.
or just like random kids down the street. Yes, I met my husband. I don't know why I gave you a southern accent, but you know what I mean?
Because when you hit a certain age, you just turn southern.
Because like old people have, no offense, I don't have any old listeners, I already know, but old people have like a different way of talking. Like I think every generation has a different accent.
Yeah, like my grandpa says "warsh" instead of "wash,"
Oh
and
yeah,
he's
Brandon's dad says it like that
yeah,
too, but they're from Kentucky, so I think that's why.
yeah,
But like, people from California, like movies, when you watch movies, those people are from California, like some of them, and they definitely have an accent. So that's why like old people, I feel like they all have an accent, like a bit of a southern accent.
yeah. Could just be the dentures. You never know.
Yeah. But yeah, so Mia's single. If you guys know anyone, have any friends, she's straight, so men only, please. I found out,
Thank you.
so all my listeners, or not all of them, they're like, I think all of them except for maybe like two, or they're all women, and they're all like ranging from the age of like 18 to 30 or something like that. I forgot what the age range is. So all the women out there, if you have any guy friends, Mia's awesome. I'll link her Instagram profile.
Yeah, slide
And
into my DMs.
yeah. And she's got some selfies on there so you can see what she looks like. The pictures don't do her justice, so don't judge her off, just social media.
Thanks.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Trying to plug you right now.
I know, I know. You really want to be the flower girl at my wedding, don't you?
I better be more than the flower girl, Mia.
All right. Maid of honor. If this Anomo thing works out.
Oh man, that would be so funny. I would, if that happens and you guys get married, I would totally bring that up at your rehearsal dinner, whatever. Yeah, it was all me. I told her to download the app during our podcast episode. No big deal.
Yep. It's all because of you. You make everything possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. All right. Any advice you want to give people? I feel like you've given a lot. Like,
just don't give up. It's really rough at the beginning, but once you find your oh man, what do you call it?
your lobster. Wait, what?
Sure. Once you find your lobster, it'll all be worth it.
Right? Aren't lobsters the ones that are like mates
But
forever?
mate for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't see that movie, by the way, if you like dogs.
Wait, what movie?
The Lobster.
That's a movie?
Yeah, you should look it up.
Okay.
Don't watch it though.
If I okay. Good to know. Oh my goodness. Thanks for coming on to my podcast and telling me about the lobster movie.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about anything, really.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if this Anomo thing goes and we can do another podcast. And obviously we don't have to just do a podcast about Anomo, but like other stuff too. Because Mia, just like me, is an introvert. And you fit perfectly in this podcast because of that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Plus, you're my friend. So I like you enough to talk to you for a good hour. Wait, how long has it been? This Zoom doesn't tell you. Has it been? Oh, no.
I think
has it?
No, an hour.
Okay. I was like, holy crap. That's a lot to listen to because this doesn't even include my intro, my outro. I've got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining my podcast. I hope you liked doing this episode. We could do more episodes. And it's been really fun. Thanks for telling me about your dating life and these ridiculous apps.
Thanks for having me.
Insane. All right. Okay. So that was the end. How did you feel? How do you feel? Has it been an hour? Has it really?
Yeah.
There's no timestamp. It doesn't tell you any. Stupid Zoom.
Yeah. Well, it's almost 7:30. So.
Dang. Come on, Zoom. Get with it. Or maybe it's me. It's probably me. I'm sure there's like a way to.
Let's be honest.
It'd be crazy if I wasn't recording that entire time.
Oh my gosh. I would cry.
Yeah, but don't worry. I'm recording. I just double checked. I was like, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope you enjoyed that conversation I had with my friend Mia. And I'm sure I'll have her on here again. Really enjoyed having that conversation and ended up being super long. But anyways, if you like what you hear, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I have my YouTube channel. I'll upload the episodes there. And you can go check out my website. I have my blogs up. I have a few up now. And if you are an aspiring podcaster or if you want to get your hands into podcasting just like me, I highly suggest you get hosted onto Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is what I'm using now. And I love their website. I love how easy it was. And they have a lot of great resources and good tips and tricks on how to get your podcast up and running. And for any listener that uses my link to sign up for Buzzsprout, you get a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for a paid plan. So please support the show and even start your own show. If you decide to start a podcast, please follow me and let me know. Like, I'd love to hear your guys' content. All right, guys. Thanks. And I will talk to you again in the next episode.